"They are gone," she said, voice trembling. He looked toward the riverbank. The ducks were safe, nestled together in the net. Their tiny eyes blinked up at him, reflecting the firelight. But behind them, footprints in the mud. Huge, deep, not wolf. Something else. The air turned cold again. A faint rumble rolled from the mountains. The mist began to move against the wind. Aric's radio crackled. "Captain Hale, extraction ready. Are you clear to lift?" He stared at the shifting fog, jaw tight. "Tight. Not yet," he whispered. "Something is still out there." The mist thickened again, swallowing the light from the helicopter above. Its search beam flickered, then vanished completely. Only the glow of burning reeds painted the scene in trembling gold. Aric could hear the rotor blades fading, distant now. They had pulled back, unable to land in the unstable marsh. The radio buzzed with static. "A base, this is Captain Hale. Visibility 0. We are pinned down." No response, just the hiss of interference and the whisper of wind. Maya's hand tightened around her rifle. Jonas struggled to his feet, blood soaking through his sleeve. The ducks quivered in the rescue net, eyes wide and black. The reeds moved again. Not from the wind. From beneath, ripples spread across the water. Slow, rhythmic, heavy, each one closer than the last. Aric's breath caught in his throat. "Well, stay sharp," he murmured. Something was emerging. A shadow rose from the water. Not a wolf. Not anything they had ever seen. It stood half hidden in the fog. Tall, skeletal, moving with an unnatural grace. Its outline shimmered, as if it were not entirely solid. The air grew colder with every step it took. The ducks fell silent. Even the fire seemed to shrink back. A smell of rot and earth filled the air. Maya whispered, "What is that?" Aric said nothing. He was staring, heart pounding, mind struggling to comprehend. The creature tilted its head. Water dripped from its limbs like melting tar. Its eyes glowed faintly, gold, just like the wolves. Then it made a sound. Not a growl, not a scream. A low, mournful echo, like the forest itself was crying. The wolves' earlier aggression made sense now. They were not hunting. They were running. They were running. The mist swirled, wrapping around the creature. Aric took a step back, knife trembling in his hand. The ground beneath him shifted, soft, unstable. He sank to his knees. Mud clutched his boots, thick and cold. The creature turned its head toward him, slow and deliberate. "Captain!" Maya shouted. She fired a flare at its chest. The light hit and passed through it. No wound, no reaction, just a deep vibration in the air like a sound too low to hear. The reeds flattened in a circle around it. The water rippled outward, glowing faintly blue. Jonas pulled at Aric's arm. "Move! We have to move!" Aric stumbled up, dragging the rescue net. The ducks flapped wildly, sensing danger. The mist followed them like a living thing. Everywhere they turned, it moved ahead, blocking, guiding. The path back to the ridge was gone. Maya's compass spun in circles. Jonas's GPS blinked red. No signal. They were trapped in a moving labyrinth of fog and reeds. Aric's lungs burned. His blood still dripped into the water, trailing red ribbons behind him. He could feel the creature's presence, near, unseen, watching. Over there. Maya pointed toward a dark outline, trees rising from firmer ground. They ran. Branches clawed at their faces, roots snagged their boots. Behind them, the sound of water shifting grew louder. Something massive was moving through it. Slow at first, then faster. Aric risked a glance over his shoulder. The fog pulsed, each wave revealing flashes of shape. Limbs too long, teeth that gleamed faintly under the moon. He turned away, pushing harder. The forest floor rose beneath their feet, turning solid. They burst out of the reeds into open ground. A broken watchtower loomed ahead, half collapsed, its rusted frame cutting into the mist. The metal way inside, the metal groaned beneath their weight. "Secure the door," he ordered. Jonas shoved a fallen beam across the entrance. Maya set the ducks in a dry corner, her hands shaking. They caught their breath. Outside, silence. No wolves, no movement, only the distant hiss of rain beginning to fall. Aric pressed his back against the wall. His arm throbbed, blood loss slowing his thoughts. "What was that thing?" Jonas asked, its voice trembling. Aric did not answer immediately. He stared out the window, where the mist pressed against the glass like a living skin. "It was hunting the wolves," he said quietly. Maya frowned. "And the wolves were hunting the ducks." Jonas exhaled shakily. "Then what is it hunting now?" A sound answered him, a deep thud against the tower wall. Once, then again, the metal shivered. Dust rained down from the ceiling. The ducks squeaked and fluttered their wings. Aric gripped his knife tighter. The thudding grew stronger. Boom! Boom! Boom, boom, something struck the door. The beam cracked, Maya screamed. Aric lunged forward, pressing his shoulder against the metal. He could feel it bend beneath an invisible force. The creature was outside, trying to come through. Jonas grabbed a flare and thrust it into a pile of debris. It ignited instantly, filling the room with harsh red light. Shadows twisted across the walls. The pounding stopped. Silence again, then a faint whisper. It came from the cracks in the door, soft, broken, almost human. Leave. Them, Maya froze. Her eyes widened. Did you hear that? Aric nodded slowly. The whisper came again, louder. Leave. Them each word stretched and warped, like something learning to speak. Aric stepped back from the door. What does it want? Maya whispered. Jonas looked toward the ducks. They were trembling, their small bodies pressed close. Eric's eyes narrowed. It wants them. It wants them. The realization hit like a blade. The creature was not after blood, it was after life. The ducks, untouched by fear until now, were something pure in a dying marsh. Eric's radio sparked suddenly. A Captain Hale. This is base camp. We have visual on your flare. Hold position. He grabbed it, shouting back, we are under attack. Something is... A deafening crash cut him off. The wall burst inward. The creature came through. It was enormous up close, its form flickering like heat against cold air. Its eyes burned gold, its body dripping with black water. Its voice shook the tower's steel beams. Leave this place. Aric staggered back. Maya fired her last dart. It passed through again, useless. The ducks cried out, wings beating wildly. The creature's head snapped toward them. The air around them shimmered. Feathers rose, weightless, spinning through the red light. The creature reached out, its fingers long, skeletal. Aric threw himself between it and the ducks. The moment his skin met its shadow, cold flooded his body. He could not breathe. Images flashed in his mind. Floods, fires, forests burning. The past, the marsh dying, wolves starving. The creature alone, ancient, bound to protect what little life remained. He understood. It was not evil. It was guardian turned ghost. But it had forgotten mercy. With the last of his strength, Aric lifted the flare from the floor. He shoved it against the creature's chest. Then protect them, he gasped. Do not destroy them. Light erupted. White, blinding, endless. The creature screamed. A sound of rage and grief fused together. The world dissolved in brilliance. Then silence. When Aric opened his eyes, the world was white. For a moment, he thought he was still inside the flare's light, weightless, frozen in that final burst of brilliance. But then he felt the cold air brush against his face, smelled the wet earth, and heard the quiet whisper of water nearby. The marsh was calm again. The mist had thinned, curling softly over the surface like a fading dream. The fire was gone, the smoke replaced by the clean scent of rain. He pushed himself upright. Pain pulsed through his arm, sharp but distant now, as if his body no longer belonged entirely to him. Nearby, Maya was kneeling beside Jonas, bandaging his arm. Both of them were alive. The relief hit him like a wave. He exhaled shakily, the tension finally breaking. Captain, Maya said softly, noticing his movement. You made it? He nodded, his voice barely above a whisper. We all did. Then he looked toward the corner, toward the small rescue net. The ducks were there, huddled together, alive and still. Their feathers glistened under the new sunlight breaking through the trees. Jonas followed his gaze. They survived, he said, smiling weakly. They did, Aric replied, and maybe that is what it wanted. Outside the broken wall, the marsh spread out before them, silent and beautiful. The reeds swayed gently, the water reflecting the pale light of dawn. The wolves were gone. No tracks, no sounds, just the soft rustle of wind. And yet, the air still carried a strange hum, faint, almost musical. Like the land itself was breathing again. Aric stepped outside. Each step sank slightly into the damp soil, the mud cool beneath his boots. He reached the spot where the creature had stood. There was nothing left, no shape, no trace, only a faint shimmer over the water. But beneath the surface, something glowed softly, like embers resting in the deep. It pulsed once, then faded completely. He understood. It had returned to the marsh, to whatever realm it had come from. Its task was done. The wolves, the fire, the chaos, it had been cleansing, not vengeance. Maya joined him, silent. They stood side by side, watching the morning light spread across the valley. Birds began to call again from the treetops. Life was returning. The radio crackled faintly. Here, Rescue One, this is base. We have visual confirmation. Extraction team inbound. Are you clear? Aric lifted the radio to his mouth. A copy, base, Sector 4 secure. The marsh is clear. He hesitated, then added, and tell command, we found something worth protecting. When the helicopter finally descended, its blades cutting through the gentle mist, the team stood ready. Fervy. Jonas carried the rescue net carefully, the ducks chirping softly inside. Maya smiled faintly, eyes still red from tears and smoke. Aric looked back one last time. The marsh shimmered under the rising sun, peaceful and ancient. For a moment he thought he saw a shape within the mist, a tall figure, motionless, watching. Then it was gone, leaving only ripples on the water. As they lifted into the sky, the world below stretched endlessly, green forests, silver rivers, and the soft golden light of dawn. Aric felt something loosen inside his chest. The fear, the loss, the confusion, all washed away with the morning light. He turned to his team. We are going home, he said quietly. Maya smiled. Jonas nodded. And below them, the marsh glowed faintly, like a heart still beating beneath the earth. In that glow, life endured, silent, fragile, and forever protected by what the world would never understand.